Alright guys, let's do this. Hey loves! Welcome back to Tea with Bree. Today is episode number 4, and honestly, I had a whole different episode in mind. However, it is going on the back burner for next week's because I've had a lot of thoughts about what's been going on this week. Mostly just concerns and projections about our TSW community. As many of you know, the Skin on Fire documentary came out. It was created by PCH Films, directed by James Keach, and is also available on YouTube. So, when it came out last week on my 7-year TSW anniversary, I watched it. Many others did the same. Now, I know our community has differences and that some people were already drawing skepticism about the documentary. I had skepticism too. But I think that's natural, especially because the team that is building the film is not experiencing TSW. There are voices in the film that are in our TSW family, and what a stellar job you guys did. But they themselves don't have any say in what goes in or doesn't go in the documentary. So this past week, after I gave my brief little thoughts on the documentary on my Insta story, I sat back and I wanted to see what other people had opinions on with the film. Nothing was surprising. It was either gratitude and praise or anger and disappointment, all of which are completely valid. I didn't really care for the Hollywood doctors and the vague things they would say on topical steroids, but I am grateful that there's a second documentary out there talking about TSW, as well as more voices putting themselves out there for the community. There was also a lot of praise overall for Dr. Marvin Rappaport. He is one of the original voices behind TSW, along with Dr. Klingman and Dr. Lebwall. Now, from all that I saw, there are 2 things that stuck out to me. The first is one, that many people, and I mean many, feel like we should just throw a big middle finger to the dermatology realm, including doctors like Dr. Peter Leo and slamming eczema associations. Basically, f you and continue going on through this grassroots movement. I get the anger, but there's a portion of that just doesn't sit well with me. And at 7 years TSW, and actually in TSW, I feel like my perspective is pretty decent. When it comes to eczema associations and societies, yes, there is a disconnect. It's only recently that the NEA was officially able to announce and acknowledge TSW, as well as they had 2 different panels on TSW at their expo. Is that perfect? No. Is there more that they could do for us TSW sufferers? Absolutely. Surely there is. Take a sip if you acknowledge that. I used to have a huge frustration with the NEA when they wouldn't truly acknowledge TSW and just kind of pushed it to the side. But the NEA is a big association. And because now that they're putting out more TSW content, that means more people will get TSW information. So for me to completely bash or walk away from the NEA or get mad at them for saying stuff about TSW now just because they didn't in the past doesn't make sense to me. Same with the bashing of Dr. Peter Leo that I saw. Is he someone that gets paid by Pfizer and Regeneron? Yeah, they pay him to go to hundreds of speaking engagements to talk about Dupixent and to consult on that drug. This man has dedicated his life to serving his patients. Me being one of them. He also deeply advocates for TSW sufferers. He's literally gotten the same disdain and eye rolls that we've gotten because he'll walk into a room and start talking about TSW in front of doctors. To say this man is corrupt just isn't in my vocabulary. Furthermore, not all sufferers have the same financial and emotional support that some of us have. And like me, some of them can be really long haulers. Some have to work. Some have to take care of their children. And some are in so much pain and discomfort and anguish that if they do not get relief, they are just going to end their life. This is a trauma that persists and persists. So, what is there to offer someone in that state and it not be alternative medicine that is out of pocket, super expensive, and slow to take hold? Pharmaceutical drugs. Is a pharmaceutical drug the reason why we got into this? Yeah. But if Dr. Peter Leo or any other doctor can assuage a patient's horrific mental and physical state with a test run of Dupixent or Immunos, that's powerful. And that is up to the individual. They can weigh the pros and cons and see what they need. However, there are other doctors, not like Dr. Peter Leo, who don't believe in TSW even when you show them research. Those are the doctors to be mad at. Those are the institutions to be upset with. Which brings me to number 2. Take a sip. I'm getting parched. What is our community's end goal? What are we working towards in our actions? Right now, I just see a lot of anger leading the way. And I don't really know what path that actually is following. I know my goal has always been about prevention. Clear and simple. However, the path to prevention must be filled with judicious moves on a chessboard. I don't like it, and if the world were just and kind, everything would be better. But it's not. And our grassroots efforts will only get us so far. I see so many people filled with disgust for the dermatology world. And I get it, rightfully so. But in the end, where does that disgust and rebellion get us? What end does it create? I personally think it just leaves us to fend for ourselves. We alone can never prevent this. Most people find our posts and videos after the fact, after they've already become dependent. That is not the type of change I'm looking for. In order to make change, true change, we have to work with the people that hurt us. It is an uphill battle most days, but I think it's a battle worth fighting. Now, does it feel good to spend that much energy and time working with a medical community that hurt us? No. But real change will happen if real change happens in the dermatology world. It will never be perfect, ever. Nothing is. I have seen Itzan work tirelessly for this community, walking on eggshells, working with eczema associations, with doctors, with Congress, with the freaking FDA. All they want to do is make a permanent solution for us. It has to come from the top down. Otherwise, we're just going to be in the same cycle that we've been in for years. Does that mean Big Pharma is now cool and that we have to treat every single derm like a god? No, absolutely not. Take a sip with me. But we've got to get labels changed and more education into the med schools. It's chess. I hate it. I can't stand it. I can say that over and over again, and I don't like how it divides our community. But if the true goal is prevention for us, our grassroots efforts will never make solid change. Until doctors get on board, patients will suffer. And we need doctors. So when it comes to the new documentary, no, I'm not really happy with the rhetoric of correct use. What is that anyway? Or that they didn't have very much research to back anything they set up. But I am grateful for another resource that could possibly lead someone else away from steroid use. The voices on the film gave me hope. Hope that one day people can be spared from this suffering. And I'm sure there's many people who had problems with my documentary. I gave that girl my all. My blood, sweat, buckets of tears, you name it, it was put in there. And if Bree can be slightly petty for a quick second, just check out all the workers that helped create Skin on Fire, a 30-minute documentary. A lot, right? Well, I did all of it on my own. So if you still feel that I didn't do that great of a job with my documentary, I can't wait to see when yours comes out. And scene. So I give a big cheers to myself and to you brave souls who have been sharing your TSW journeys. May we all be able to take a step back and see the long game. May we set our advocacy goal and take thoughtful steps to get there. I love you guys. Thank you for sitting with me. And look out for a giveaway soon. I'm really trying to put something together for our community so that we can get some love and some help out there. Until next time. Gotta wait for the dogs to start barking. Oh my gosh, my eye is twitching, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh. Please be in focus. Please, my Lanta, be in focus. Oh, guys, this was a tough one. It's always so hard to think of what to say during these times when everyone's feelings are valid, but that this community leans heavily on what each of us does, and perceptions of our society, look how I'm talking, of our community, weigh heavily on what we do and what we don't do, and what we say and what we don't say. So I know I try to be really cautious about what I do and what I put out, because everything is saved now, especially on the internet, and everything can be brought back in not a good light towards our community. And I just don't want to ever do something that hurts us, or that puts us in a light where people may not want to speak to us or talk to us or learn from us. So just be mindful. Be mindful of what you say and what you do. Again, it's your life. I can't tell you what you can and can't do. I'm just saying be mindful. But I love you guys. Still flaring. I do have pigtails in, but if you saw the back of my head, you would realize that I don't wear pigtails out in public right now because I have so many different spots in the back over here that are super dry and crazy. But yeah, just keeping it going day by day. I have a doc appointment on Friday to get swabbed, so we'll see there. My stomach has been an issue too. I tried reintroducing some foods, but I think I went a little too quick. So we're gonna back it up a little. But yeah, I love you. If you haven't seen my documentary, go watch it. It's more informative than the Skin on Fire, but I think the voices that are on Skin on Fire are tremendous in what they say. Man, I resonated with all of it. Just the physical pain, the emotional pain, the brave face that you gotta wear. Dupree, that was a good one. They got me all choked up. So I am proud of the voices that were on that documentary. It's not easy putting yourself out there. So, cheers. Penguin love. Lots of penguin love.